did she try out on the team, or did they just tell her she cannot even try out? Don't even think about it.
No, she could not even try out. They told her at the beginning she could not be on the team because she's a girl. The only part she could take for the wrestling team was to be a manager. Girls are only allowed to be managers for the wrestling team at the school.
But as you found out, when she does get into high school, she will be able to try out for the team?
Yes. Layton High School currently has 2 girls on the high school wrestling team, and she will be able to be on the high school wrestling team next year.
Well, that's exciting. But in the meantime, you've asked the school district to change their policy. I understand they might have shared with you the results of their discussion or decision.
Yes, we did receive the results last night, and in reference to what they've stated, we're keeping a lot of what they said under wraps at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I will let you know, Jay, that KSL will be the first to know.
Okay.
You, Brittany Copeland, that I will tell you.
Okay.
And Amy Donaldson from the Deseret News, of course.
So you know, but you're just waiting to get some things in order before we know.
Correct. We will be taking this further. That I can say.
So you're going to pursue legal action?
Yes.
I am curious. Obviously, I have a couple of questions. We have a lot of parents texting in and asking the question about the position that this puts boys in, touching girls where they're told not to touch them, the perception that if you get beat by a girl, then that's really a bad situation. If you beat the girl, then that's a bad situation. Can you talk about that a little bit? Do you see that side?
I can see. Now, I've been reading the comments in reference to what's been left on, KSO website, Deseret News. I understand that, everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
And it is a difficult subject. However, in reference to the inappropriate touching, at that moment when 2 opponents are on the mat, they're looking at how to win. They're not looking at who's touching who and where, because whether you have 2 girls wrestling, 2 boys wrestling, or a male and a female wrestling, there's going to be hands going different areas.
Yeah, well, I wrestled, and hands do go in different areas, but I can also tell you, having been a young boy at one time in my life, there's no way in creation, Kelly, that I would not be thinking in that moment, I am about to touch and grab a girl in that place. There's no way. No matter how competitive I am, no matter what, there is no way that does not cross my mind. I'm not saying that's a reason not to have this, but I'm just telling you from my perspective, it's going to cross my mind.
Absolutely. And again, boys, there have been some boys who don't want to wrestle, and we accept that.
Yeah.
We understand. And because everybody has different boundary issues or concerns, we want to be able to give every child, male or female, the opportunity to wrestle or to play another sport. We're not looking to take anything away from any of the male sports or female sports.
Yeah.
When it comes to boys, all the boys that she's wrestled, high school boys even, a lot of them they don't have a problem wrestling her. They will treat her just like any other opponent, and that's what I've told Kathleen, that when you get out there on the mat, you will face opponents who, one, don't want to wrestle a girl, and who will go a lot harder on you, as they should, because when she's out there, I don't want her to think of herself as a girl. I want her to think of herself as a wrestler, and that's where a lot of the boys come in. I see her as a wrestler. Of course, everyone's going to have different opinions.
Yeah.
But if somebody chooses not to, then I respect their decision not to want to wrestle a girl.
We're talking with Kelly Janice. She's a mom of a 14-year-old who wants to wrestle in junior high, and she's found out that is not allowed. She can't even try out for the team. And Kelly and your husband, you want this change. You don't think it's unfair. I'm curious, just so I can get the right perspective here. Your daughter is not demanding to wrestle boys. If there was a girls' wrestling team, would she be satisfied with that? Does she just want to wrestle, and that's really the core of this? Or does she really want to wrestle boys?
She wants to wrestle, period.
Okay.
Boys and girls, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And like I told the boys, a lot of the high school boys were like, "Oh, this will be my second or third girl." And I said, "If you ever go out there and you meet a girl on the mat, you treat her like an opponent. Don't treat her any differently. Go as hard on her as you would a boy. Because if a girl is going to put herself in that position, then she's got to realize that they might go a lot harder."
I have one last question for you, Kelly, and then I'll let you
Sure.
go because I know you're at work. You've
Yes, I
watched.
have time now.
Oh, okay. You've watched your daughter wrestle boys.
Yes, I have.
How do you feel as a mom? I mean, I know I have two daughters. They're in sports. I want them to go as far as possible and not be hindered in any way, shape, or form. But at the same time, it is wrestling. Is there the mom in you that kind of, do you cringe a little bit, or are you just all in and you don't care about that?
When she's on the mat, I want to see her win.
Yeah.
And there's some times that she's not going to because boys are physically stronger.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking at her at the fact that she's going to be able to defend herself later on in life if anything was to ever happen. And that I'm very proud of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she sounds like a tremendous young woman. Is she good? Is she a good wrestler?
She is, and she's getting a lot better. She's got a lot to learn, and I will completely support her as my child or any child who wants to try something and wants to excel at it.
Kelly,
Parents should support their children.
thank you so much for your time, and we'll look forward to hear from you when you're ready to reveal the decision that's been given to you and how you're going to proceed legally. I really appreciate your time today.